After you create an online course, how do you make sure that people will actually buy it? I've got the answer for you coming right up. Hi, I'm Christine with Thrive Themes. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I invite you to do so, and if you ring the bell, you'll be notified when we publish new videos. So after you create your online course, what is the most effective method for selling it? Do you just post it for sale on your website, or is there a better way? In this video, I'll be going over 3 different sales models, the pros and cons of each. I'll reveal the strategy that we recommend, and be sure to stay tuned to the end because I'll be going over the one big mistake that you should definitely avoid when it comes to selling your online course. Let's dive right in. First, we have the open model. With this model, anyone can come to your website at any time and buy your course. And this can be done a couple different ways. So for example, you can use a dedicated long-form sales page for your course, or you can have a more e-commerce-like experience where maybe you're selling multiple courses and then people can view and purchase your course offerings, much like they're perusing Amazon. Now, the big pro of the open model is that of the 3 models we'll be going over today, this is probably the easiest to set up. And it's also the least stressful because after creating your course and setting up a payment processor, there isn't much else to do. So maybe you'll post about it on social media every once in a while, but that's probably about it. Now, the downside to the open model is that it doesn't tend to generate as much revenue as the other 2 models we'll be looking at. And because there's no urgency or scarcity component, people often just don't feel the need to take action right away. So as a result, sales are few and far between, and it's very, very difficult to build a sustainable business using this model exclusively. Next, we have the launch model. With the launch model, your course is only open for enrollment once or twice during the year. So for example, you might open your course for 10 days in April and then 10 days in November. But the launch model is more than just putting up a message on your website saying that your course is open for enrollment. When you use the launch model, it's typically a pretty big deal. So to prepare for your launch, you might start publishing blog posts or podcasts related to your course topic for a good 3 to 4 weeks to start getting your audience in the right frame of mind to buy your course when the course is finally open. Then to launch your course, you'll probably have several different marketing funnels. So for your current email list subscribers, you might send out a series of emails and some free training videos. At the end of this series, you'll pitch your course. Then to attract new leads, you might purchase Facebook ads inviting people to sign up for your lead magnet and your email list. Then you might send out some free training videos, and then you finally pitch your course. And also, you might do a joint venture agreement with someone else in your niche where you present a webinar to their audience, and at the end of the webinar, you pitch your course. So all of these marketing funnels are happening at around the same time. Now, the key to the launch model and generating revenue is a huge emphasis on urgency. So your sales page will have a countdown timer reminding people that this is a limited time offer. All of your emails and all of your social media posts should have some kind of message saying, "Hurry, the course is closing soon, so be sure to buy it now." And this works really well because of the fear of missing out. When people know that they won't be able to access something later on, or if they know that the price is going to increase, that is typically when people buy. So it's very important with the launch model to use countdown timers. To add countdown timers to your sales page and to other pages on your site, you can use a tool like Thrive Ultimatum. Thrive Ultimatum makes it really easy to create nicely designed countdown timers that match your brand. Now, what are the pros of the launch model? Number 1, the urgency component really does work to drive sales. I cannot emphasize this enough. Urgency is the biggest reason to use the launch model. Having that specific close date is huge, and time after time, in our experience, it really does cause a huge spike in revenue. So the days that you're likely to see huge spikes in sales are your cart opening day and your cart closing day. Now, besides revenue, another pro to the launch model is that it's easier for you to serve your students. And that's because when you have people who are starting to take your course, That is typically when you as the course creator will receive the most questions like, I can't access the course, I can't remember my password. And that's also when you'll get people requesting returns, although hopefully very few of these. But all of this takes a lot of time to deal with, so it's much easier to deal with all of those concerns only a couple of months out of the year. And number 3, the launch model can really help you grow your business quickly when you reach out to other people in your niche and do promo activities, such as podcast interviews or doing video collaborations. Now, you don't have to do these extra promo activities to have a successful launch, but just keep in mind that getting your name out there and expanding your reach to more people will help to build your brand recognition and benefit your business later on down the road. Now, what about the cons to the launch model? The biggest con is that it's really pretty stressful. There's a lot of moving parts to the launch model, such as Facebook ads, you've got a lot of emails going out, you have a sales page with a payment processor. So with all these different things, there's a lot that can go wrong. So for example, your ads account could get deactivated, your website could go down, you might accidentally have sent out the wrong email or maybe the wrong link. So you really have to be focused and you have to be able to solve problems as they arise without feeling too frustrated or losing faith in yourself. Another con is that the launch model really works best if you have only one flagship course. So if you sell several smaller courses, you could very easily burn out your list by doing huge promotions too often. And you could burn yourself out too. So that was the launch model. It's really great for generating revenue, but it does take quite a bit of effort. The third model is what I'm going to call publicly closed with an evergreen urgency marketing funnel. Now that is rather long, so we're just going to call this the Evergreen model for short. So with this model, the course seems closed, so you won't have a public sales page on your website. However, people are offered the course based on individual actions. So let me give you an example. Person 1, we will call them Agatha. She visits your website and signs up to get a free ebook, and this puts Agatha on your email list. Now you've set up an autoresponder series for anyone who signs up to get this ebook so that a few days after downloading the ebook, Agatha is sent a series of free training videos, and at the end of that series, she'll get an email saying something along the lines of, "We have a special offer for you. We think you're really going to like our course. You have 5 days to buy it." So Agatha's opportunity to buy the course is December 10 through December 15. Then person 2, we'll call them Kevin. Kevin signs up for the ebook 3 days after Agatha does. So Kevin goes through the exact same marketing funnel, but because Kevin signed up 3 days later, his opportunity to buy the course is December 13 through December 18. And so each person has their own timeline. Now this is all 100% automated. So you don't have to keep track of who's signing up when and making sure people are getting the right emails and that people are seeing the right countdown timer. All you need to do is create the autoresponder series in your email provider and then set up a campaign in Thrive Ultimatum, which is our tool for scarcity marketing. Now, like the launch model, you will have to create a lot of materials such as autoresponder emails and video trainings, but you can actually use a lot of the same materials for both models. So that's going to be a clue as to the strategy that we recommend. Now, I should also mention you aren't limited to starting an evergreen model with an email opt-in. You can start your funnel with actions like opening an email or maybe visiting a certain page on your website. Thrive Automator can help you automate these actions. Now, what are the pros of the publicly closed with evergreen urgency marketing funnel model? Well, number 1, because it's all automated, there's really no stress. Number 2, you still have a scarcity element, which will drive more sales than a course that's always open. And number 3, it's a more stable income model than the launch model because it's based on an individual's actions as opposed to opening your cart once or twice a year. The cons are that number 1, it's not as exciting as the launch model. So for example, with the launch model, you could go on a podcast tour to promote your course, or you could rally your affiliates to start promoting, and it's just generally a pretty exciting event, although again, it can be pretty stressful. Number 2, it's also slightly less effective than the real launch model, especially in the online marketing space because people are starting to get used to this sales model. and they know that it's not real scarcity. Now, if you're interested in learning more about Evergreen sales funnels, then we do have a free Thrive University course that you can sign up for. We'll be sure to leave the link down below. All right, so now that we've gone over all 3 sales models, which one is the most effective revenue generating strategy? What we recommend is starting with the launch model, creating all of the content necessary, writing the copy for all your emails, and then going through at least one launch. When you have at least one successful launch under your belt, then you can transition to publicly closed with an Evergreen urgency marketing funnel. Because once you create all of the materials needed to do the launch model, why not take advantage of all of that hard work and use it to generate even more revenue on autopilot? You'll get the best of both worlds, the excitement and the spike in sales of the launch model and the consistent revenue of the Evergreen model. Now, there is one big thing to avoid, and that is presenting the exact same offer on Evergreen as you did during your big launch. And that's because if you tell people during your launch that the window to buy is closing, but then you make your course available for the exact same price only a week later, but by having people going through a marketing funnel, well, some people are going to figure that out, and it makes you look like you weren't being honest, and so you lose credibility. Instead, when you do your Evergreen model, offer something slightly different. So for example, during your launch, you can offer your online course, 3 bonuses and a price of $395. On Evergreen, you can offer your course, 1 bonus, and a price of $450. And that should be sufficient so that the people who bought during your big launch still feel like they got a good deal, but the people who are buying on Evergreen don't feel like the price skyrocketed. So it's up to you to decide which of these models is best for your business. And by the way, if the launch model sounds too stressful, you can always just use the open model first, just to get your course out there, and then transition to the launch model or the Evergreen model later. If you decide to use the Evergreen model, remember that since it's running on autopilot, you can then begin working on your next course. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments section. We'll be sure to link the free Thrive University course on Evergreen funnels down below. And if you would like to get Thrive Ultimatum, Thrive Automator, and the rest of the Thrive tools, you can do so by purchasing Thrive Suite. Click the link in the description box to learn more. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.